Oh, good morning. Welcome to Love Babz Love Talk. I'm Babz Rawls. This is music. I was supposed to have a guest. Stephen Dest, the filmmaker, was supposed to be here today, but you know, we all suffered through this daggone tornado, and a lot of us experienced some damage, and so schools are out, and he has young children, so school is out, and so he's, you know, parent on call, so he's handling that. So I'll reschedule Stephen because I want to hear about his filmmaking life. And he's so interesting and fun. So he'll be back. I'll have him back on. So no worries. So if you were tuning in to hear him, stay tuned. He'll be back on. I'll have him back on. I'll reschedule that. So if you just hung out the last hour, Criminal Justice Insider, we had Jackie Pulvari on. Jeff and I were talking to her. I met Jackie Pulvari through Norm Pattis, who was my attorney through my trials and tribulations. And he introduced me to her because he knew she was going to be sentenced and probably would go to prison. And so he wanted me to just, you know, be supportive to her. And I was. And that's how we became friends. And she is just as beautiful as the day I met her a few years ago. So this ride has been a ride, y'all. It's been a ride. So Harry is somewhere around here in the background. He brought in some donuts that I don't think I could eat. I need to Google up Brooklyn Donuts in Waterbury and see if I can eat any of those donuts. Which I don't need to be eating anything because I really ought to be sticking to my lifestyle change. And if my trainer is listening, he'd be like, Babz, if you even think about putting a donut in your mouth. So I'm stepping away. Plus, you know what? I'm sure the way those donuts smell, they are buttered up to the hilt. And since I'm severely and life-threateningly allergic to butter, milk, proteins, I'm going to leave them alone. It's been a day. It's Friday. It's still, the weather is still not at its optimum. Like, it's not where I want it to be, but alas, it is what it is. So I'm gonna spend some music on a Friday, and I'm gonna do the things that I want to do the things that I like to do on a Friday, and see where that brings us. So last night, the squad and I, we were out at LT's Corner for the Freddie Fixer fashion show by Donald Carter. Now, listen, if you don't know the work of Donald Carter, oh, my God. You know, he ought to be on Project Runway. He ought to have, his couture, he's just so unbelievably talented. I've never seen a designer so talented. It's going to be my mission to, like, just try to get him to wherever. I don't know how I'm going to do it because I don't know nobody, but I'm going to do my part because I went out of there last night with a list of things that I want. And he came and he talked to me and he's like, Babz, don't you go trying to lose no 20 pounds. I can design whatever you want for the body that you're in right now. I was like, what? I'm so happy. So, but of course I've got to change this body. The body has to change, but that's not about fashion. That's neither here nor there because I saw some things that just took my breath away. So Donald Carter, you are on my spirit. So the night before, though, I was at a dinner party for Dr. Deco Muhammad, who was my guest yesterday on Thursday. She's still here. She'll be here till I think Monday, till Monday, and just hanging out with her. And Harry, she brought me a beautiful dress from the continent, just for me. This beautiful blue, drapey dress, stunning. So I tried it on last night before I went to bed. Oh, I can't wait to find some place to wear it. Anyway, hi Harry.
Good morning, Babz.
How are you? Harry's like, y'all are working me too hard on Fridays. I can tell, Harry. I can tell we're working you too.
No, it's the allergy.
Oh, and the rain isn't helping?
No, I'm feeling like miserable.
Oh my God! I thought the rain like helps that a little bit. No,
I mean it might be. It might be. It might be worse if it wasn't for the rain.
I know. It might be worse if it didn't rain.
Yep.
Well, the temperature is not hot, so I don't know. This weather is so crazy. But I think once now, do your allergies end once you once all the like? Is there some place where it stops, or do you have to just go all the way through the summer?
I get all the seasonal. So around August, I'll get like a reprieve.
Okay.
But then September comes. And it's
oh my God. But listen, my daughter and my oldest son, Brianna and Gregory, they have the same allergy problem. So Gregory's around the house now just sniffling like a I don't know what. So I was like, boy, just take some allergy medicine. Can you just take some allergy medicine? Oh, Mom, I don't want to be drowsy. So I got, the Allegra, which is nice because he doesn't feel drowsy. Because I have to, I take allergy medicine. If I get some dairy in me, I have to do something. So I wanted to play some music. I was thinking about Whitney Houston because, the documentary is coming out, which I don't know if I could go see that. I think it's too soon. I can't wrap my brain around it yet.
Who's the actress?
No.
Oh, it's not a movie. It's just a documentary.
It's a documentary of her whole. But, some shocking things came out in the making of the documentary that she was molested by, her aunt, Dee Dee Warwick. Her aunt. Her aunt molested her. And everybody in the family knew it because the aunt molested other people's children in the family. Now, the aunt has long since died.
Wow.
But they, like a lot of families, Harry, with incest and sexual assault and sexual exploitation, they don't want anybody to know. So they just shut it down, and they think children can just grow out from under that, right? Like, okay, it happened to you. You're a grown-up now. You were a little kid. And they don't realize that what happens to you as a child carries in your bones, in your spirit for life. And he didn't set out following that, chasing that rumor, because it has always been something was up with Whitney, but nobody kind of knew. He finds out, Harry, that this woman was molested her brother, some other kids, and people squashed it. And then the guy who made the documentary was like, so when it came out in the documentary, he was like asking people, and don't you know, they still, after all this time, and everybody's pretty much dead in this, thing, that they don't want to rehash it.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about it.
They don't want to talk about it. And I was like, but this woman suffered her whole life with this story and got no help for it, Harry. So it's a wonder she took the drugs, because I listen. As someone who was sexually exploited and abused and trafficked, I understand. You do whatever you got to do to sort of numb whatever that pain is. The good thing for me is that somehow or other I got some help or some support or something. Poor Whitney Houston didn't get none of that. She wasn't even allowed to share the story.
Yeah, but you know what?
Oh my God, Harry, I'm so annoyed.
Detachment is how some people deal with it. So they don't want to ever bring it forth.
Yeah.
It's too painful.
It is. When I read that yesterday, I went to my bed with that on my mind, thinking how much she had to carry that. And she was a little kid when it happened. And it didn't happen just one time. It was like over. And, the brother tells the story in the documentary, because I was reading excerpts of it, that, their parents would just leave them with people, because they were entertainers too, right? So they would leave them with people, with all throughout the year, just because they was traveling and touring and singing. And so they would just leave them. And when you do that, you leave your kids open for abuse, and because little kids don't tell.
Yeah.
Little kids don't tell, right?
That's the problem. I mean, and then in these old families, and we all have them, right? There is this person that you don't trust, don't want to talk about, and everything, but families don't expel them.
I know.
Right? You just say, stay away from your uncle this. Stay away. They don't expel them out the family.
Right. We don't.
I don't understand it.
I don't either, Harry. I don't understand it either.
It was always a problem with my kids because I didn't like leaving them with family. Right?
Yeah.
I don't trust family. So I always, no, I'll take them with me. Or, my wife and I, we coordinated our work schedules and our school when we were both in college. One of us was always there.
Yeah.
Because I was terrified of leaving them with anybody.
Yeah. But I just thought that was so.
And it's because of that. I know I got hurt as a child and everything also. And I can't really even talk about it because I do have that. What my psychologist says is I'm not connected to any of the pain anymore. I won't allow myself to be connected to it. So I'm detached from it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even remember a lot of my childhood. I don't even remember a lot of my childhood. So I know people walk around like that, just like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it shows up in other ways.
It does.
The trauma shows up in other ways.
I have trust issues all over.
The trauma shows up in other ways. And
trust issues, you become violent for a while until you can figure out why you're so mad and everything. It's just a lot of problems.
Absolutely, Harry. And I could attest to all of that.
Yeah.
All of it. And it wasn't until I learned it wasn't until I learned how to, I don't know, I just sort of got on this path and figured it out for myself, because I really was on a destructive path. And when I think about Whitney Houston and folks who have gone through abuse, I see where she was, where I was, and if she could have hung in a little longer and got some help, she still would be alive.
Right. Because,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you go through the self-destructive phase, and you can see it in her.
Yes. I clearly see it. I clearly see it. I clearly see it. And
but sometimes, you never learn how to deal with it, or you don't ever want to deal with it. But those demons keep coming.
They come, and they are fierce, and they don't let you go until you face them. They just chase you. So I just felt like, man, if she could have just gotten some couch time with a good therapist who knows something about childhood sexual abuse.
Yeah.
That could have saved her a whole lot of pills and potions. If only,
If only, but
And there were adults
hard.
around her who knew what was happening and did nothing.
But that's the thing.
That's the hard.
That's the whole thing. It's just like there's something wrong with how we're loyal to
the perpetrator.
To a fault, loyal to an incredible fault. Where I'm like, how could you not expel these people?
Yeah.
How could you just go about hoping that person doesn't do something to your child, to your niece,
Yeah. And all the while they are.
Yeah, of course.
And all the people around that I mean, it's a tough thing because you have the abuse, you have the adults who don't handle the abuse, and then you have the child that carries the weight of the abuse, and the abuser still in the circle.
Yep.
Still in the circle, and you have interaction with, right?
You're right. And then it's like they don't want to have a family shame.
Yeah.
So they don't ever want it to go public or talk about it so that other people know about it.
Mhm.
So
And so little kids bear the brunt of that, and then they grow up and they all effed up, right? Because they don't know how to. They drugging. They are having. They're promiscuous. They're doing things. They're stealing. They're breaking the law. They're doing all these things because they've been harmed, and trauma shows up in the body in all kinds of ways, just all kinds of ways. You know.
bad for Whitney now, man.
Oh, Harry. And the documentary guy, he was so, I gotta look up his name so I can stop calling him the documentary guy. He said he was so stunned by this because people were just, you know how you make a documentary, Harry? You go, you talk to people, and people were just talking. And everybody started telling the story, you know, about all these things. And it wasn't what he was trying to do. And he was like, what is going on? And then people were like, yeah, we just didn't talk about it. We just kind of shh. You know.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And the mother, Cissy Houston, knew. She didn't do a damn thing.
Mm.
I don't care. Listen. Child, she suffered unnecessarily. And people got paid on the back of her pain. People made money on the back of her pain. And they didn't help her.
That's horrible.
It's Harry, I can't shake
it's
it.
Horrible, right? And that's
I
the
cannot shake this mess.
It's like it's just you feel that abandonment.
Yeah.
That that people who have been hurt go through because you know how abandoned you were. Nobody helped.
Nobody helped. And then they told you, shh, don't talk about it anymore. It's over.
Right. And it's like
and you're like, what?
Wow.
What?
You just wish some people were better.
Yeah. Yes. And yes. And I'm always wishing people to be better, Harry. I'm always wishing. And so I think about this that's why I don't know if I could see this documentary. I guess I mean, it'll find me, but I just was like,
I probably won't watch it. I'm done watching stuff like that.
But you see so much of why she, you just see it. You just see it when you look at her life, and you're like, that's classic. Somebody who was abused and not have it handled, and she's just suffered in silence, And people are like, well, she's an adult. She could talk to somebody. I said, when you are harmed as a child, you stay in that child's space. I mean, you do.
You do. Look, as an adult, you protect that child.
Yes.
Right?
So
now you don't want that child to ever come out and have to deal with it. And that's really the truth.
That's the truth.
So Whitney's going around protecting her child.
Yeah.
That was hurt long ago, and she couldn't deal, but that child needs light eventually.
It does.
So what you do is you try to mask that pain, that secret you have, so.
And that's what she did. And that's what she did. She did it. So, all right, so this is the Whitney Houston show. I'm going to play some Whitney Houston music today. Oh, wait, there's some other music playing, Harry. I don't know why. Some music playing over here. Do I need to shut something down? Yeah, listen. There's some other music playing, Harry. Oh, wait. Every day on the radio, it's exciting. It's delightful. I don't know what that is. always never a dull moment. You know, we was just having that good Whitney Houston conversation. So it's gonna be a Whitney Houston day for today. You hear it? Hear it? Okay, I don't think I want this out on the airwaves. People like, Babz, what are you doing? We trying to fix it. We trying to fix it. We trying to fix it. Trying to fix it. In the meantime, in Crazy America, there's another. Let's see. So we're trying to fix it. You know, technical difficulties. Let's try another song. All right. Let's we're gonna try another song, people. Oh wait. Let me turn this off. Let me put this. Bear with us, radio family. Oh, see, it's still there. It's another radio. Is this on over here? What is this? Any of this? All right. Oops. In the meantime, in between time, what am I pausing? Where is it? No. Right here? Okay. Let's see.
I'ma keep it on the low, you don't even gotta say that. What the deal, little mama? Cause we really gonna chill, little mama. But I know you're not a whore though.
It's the Russians, Harry. They finally caught up and they're playing R&B hip hop. The Russians. The Russians are the North Koreans, whatever. I don't know. Oh, Lord have mercy. This is too funny for me. It's never a dull moment. Harry's like, I don't know what is happening. Harry, I swear I didn't touch anything. I just... Huh? Nope. I don't know whose music this is. Hot 97? Oh, it's you said it was Ugly Radio? Ugly Radio is infiltrating? Oh. All right, let me just find some music. Let me play some Whitney Houston music. Here we go. All right. No, the music is still going, Harry. Whitney is still singing "Give Good Love." We were talking about Whitney Houston today in the documentary that's coming out in June, and I feel some kind of way about the new things that have been discovered in her life, and it just wears on my soul in a big way. As somebody who experienced childhood sexual exploitation, assault, and trafficking, I can't tell you how I survived it. I don't have any real clues into why I'm not dead. It ain't for lack of trying to die. I just don't know why some people can get through it and some people can't. I don't know why some people it breaks them and some people it breaks them, but they can put themselves back together. I don't have any answers to that. I'll say all the correct things, Harry, like God and community, and I don't say that lightly. I'm not making fun of those things. I'm just saying I just wished somebody would have wrapped their arms around her. That's what I wish. And not her, but so many. Like, listen, all these women that came to that R. Kelly nightmare, they got to be handled too. All those kids whose parents put them in the position to deal with that foolishness of that madman. Parents, Harry, who wanted their kids to get fortune and fame because they could sing, and pushed them in his view, and he took advantage. There's depositions with him talking about the problem he has with having sex with kids, young girls. Well, listen. He didn't say Pied Piper for nothing. He was telling us the whole time, Harry, in every record, in every song, in all his actions, what he was about. He told us in plain sight. And what did people do? Right. Oh, I like that beat.
And he showed us with marrying Aaliyah.
Yes.
She was a baby.
She was.
She was a teenager.
Harry.
Okay, so.
That girl was what, 14, 15?
15.
And he was like 26? And I know it took everything I know her father wanted to go there and with a crowbar and just.
If only justice was that easy.
Harry, he was dead wrong for that mess.
Plus.
He wasn't 19. Because we can make peace with a 19 and a 15-year-old. We can. Because they're in the same cohort. That makes sense. 15, 26, 27, 28. But you know what? He's going to get his too.
People get fame a pass all the time.
They do, Harry.
All the time.
They do. Cosby, R. Kelly, Weinstein, all these people. Matt Lauer. Harry, you have to really be confident when you could have a lock from your desk to your door installed so that women cannot get out. You have to be very confident to do that, Harry. You have to be confident in all the people around you not ratting you out.
Confident or enough of a monster that everybody fears you. Right? And then for management to allow that.
To allow it. And like, you know what? Somebody Matt Lauer wants a lock from his desk to the door. Oh, yeah, give it to him.
Right. And then all the excuses everybody makes. And he actually had, Harvey Weinstein, another guy who people were sent to his hotel room.
Yeah.
Now, people who know he's a monster sending young victims to his hotel room.
To his hotel room.
Okay, so.
And the women who didn't go, he deliberately destroyed their careers. Deliberately. There's no, Harry, when somebody's trying to do you in. You know it. But he fixed it so that everybody would think that these women were difficult and challenging and all this kind of stuff. They just was the ones who didn't go up to the hotel room.
Yep.
They wasn't better. They just was like, no, I'm not going to meet you up there.
And then Harvey Weinstein's company had a deal with him that they would they had like this deal that if any sexual harassment stuff
Yes.
came up, they had buyouts.
Yes.
So they would take care of it for him.
Yes.
So they knew
He
that
was a
this
monster.
guy was that.
He was a monster. He is a monster. And here's my problem. These people know this. The people know what's going on. People always know what is going on. I'm more concerned really about the people who sort of like look
Helped.
and are complicit in this monstering.
Or helped, because you have some.
You
of the
have to help when you bring in people.
Well, right. You have some of the stars who got warned. Don't go to his hotel room.
Yeah.
Then
Or if
you
you
have-
go to your hotel room, don't drink anything. Don't stay by the
Right.
door. Whatever, whatever
Right.
it is.
It's that, and then you have others who were just told don't go.
Yeah.
Okay, but you have those people who said, if you go, this and that, or yeah, go to Harvey. He'll get you a part and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. 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 And he went on for years.
yeah, it was the casting couch, and they made fun of that term. They used the term the casting couch because you knew what you had to do.
Yeah. And they
made fun of
knew it. And they just turned.
It's almost like, you remember that movie with Jodie Foster, The Accused?
The accused. And everybody in that bar.
That everybody in that bar got charged. It's
Mhm.
almost like that. If you've ever been sent to a hotel room with one of these people by somebody, that person who sent you is an accessory almost, right?
You got to treat it just like if you in a bar and you know somebody drunk and you give them one more drink. You are assisting in their
Yep.
drama. That's what you're doing. So we have to treat that just like that too. So if you know you pimping for somebody, you ought to go to jail too. And you need to be standing on the witness stand and ask the question, did you know what he was going to do? And if you say no, you're a liar.
A lot of people lied.
And a lot of people made it there. I remember when the young boy, what is it, Corey Haynes?
Corey Haim, yeah.
Corey, when he was like the early ones who said, listen, I've been molested.
Corey Feldman and Corey Haim.
Yes.
Both of the Corys.
And people were like, oh, no. And then what happens, Harry? All that stuff comes out.
Yep.
The truth. But by this time, they're all grown up.
Well,
like
and
one is dead,
One
right?
is dead. One of them lost his life.
Yeah.
Because of all that pain that he went through. you
Yeah.
know?
And the people, nobody wanting to help them or believe them. We have a real problem. We have a problem.
Yep,
We have a problem. We have a problem. And so, you know what? These talent agencies and these firms that handle agencies, you know what they should have? A ban on any meetings in hotel rooms. That all meetings with clients have to be in a conference room with other people. So I'm just saying, they should not, because I'm not saying the hotel room is the thing, but you bring people to a hotel room because you don't want eyes on you. That's why you do it, And and people present well, Harry. Like if somebody invited me to their hotel room right now, and I know them, I'm not going to expect them to like rape me. I was like, okay, whatever. I don't expect because I walk into a hotel room that rape is the next thing. Just like I don't walk into the grocery store thinking rape is the next thing.
It shouldn't be the next thing, but I've always said, well, like if somebody invited me to a hotel room, I'd be like, hotel room? Let's go to
the bar.
The bar, the restaurant. Pick another place where there isn't a bed.
Yeah. But if I invited you to my hotel room, Harry, you're not going to think I'm going to put the moves on you. You'd be like, okay. I was like, come, let me show you something. I got something, whatever. You'd come. You wouldn't be thinking, oh, once I get you in my room, I lock the door and jump on you. That's the last thing in your mind you think I'm going to do to you.
Right. And then the thing is that most date rapes are people you know.
Yes.
So it's like,
yes. It's not strangers in the hallway that's gonna snatch you. It's the guy that you've known.
Yep. So it's like, what is going on here?
And that's how they get away with that.
You don't expect your friends to slip you something into your drink.
Yes.
You don't expect none of that stuff.
No.
It happens all the time.
Yes, all the time, all the time. And this is how these familiar rapes happen. You go out with a guy 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. You start to feel comfortable with them, whatever. Next thing you know, and then you want to bring charges with them, and they want to like, well, you've been going out with him 2 or 3 times. Well, he didn't rape me 2 or 3 times ago.
Yeah, and it's like, then why did you go to his hotel room at 3 in the morning? But I didn't expect to be raped. But at 3 in the morning, what are you doing?
I'm sorry. Is there some law? There's some rule that says rapes happen at 3 o'clock in the morning in hotel rooms? Because I didn't get that memo.
Right, because the whole Mike Tyson defense was, she came to my room at 3 o'clock.
I said, what does that mean? If your mama would have came at 3 o'clock in the morning, what would happen to your mama? I'm just trying to make sense of the senseless. So anybody that comes to your room at 3 o'clock gonna have to worry about being raped. Help me understand that thinking. Like so if your boy comes at 3 o'clock in the morning, you gonna rape him? Help me understand.
There's so many unsaid rules.
Oh my God, Harry.
For these people.
Yeah.
For these people, they see like you acceptance of their behavior.
Yeah.
But you don't know their rules, so there's no way for you to know that you're within their rules.
Right. Right.
You know.
Right. Right. And so we spend a lot of time telling women how not to get raped, but we don't tell men. We don't explain to men and some women how not stop raping. Like, okay, you know how we quit stop rape? Have people stop raping. Just stop it. And putting women in these ridiculous positions, and just because you go to somebody's house doesn't mean anything. Rape should not be the next thing. Coffee, tea, rape. No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. And people were like, well, you want to be romantic. So when you take out all when you have to ask every little thing, you take the romance out. Well, if you think raping somebody is romantic, then you have bigger issues.
You take all the romance out when you slip them something. The romance is gone when the person is limp.
Romance isn't it a choice?
I don't know.
It's a choice.
We're not laughing at anything here.
We're not laughing about
rape.
The absurdity of it.
Right. We're
the
making
absurdity.
light of the
absurdity. It's like people think that conversation and clarity is a killer of romance, then those are people that I don't want to spend any time with. Seriously.
Yeah.
Because if I'm hanging out with you and it's coffee, tea, or rape, I'm going to choose coffee and tea every time.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
I don't know anybody who's going to choose rape.
For real, for me personally, I have to know you very well to even let you into my personal space.
Well,
right?
we know that, Harry.
So you have to expect. Well, for me, I wouldn't go to your room, even if I trust you. I wouldn't go because
you're a married man.
I'm a married man, and it wouldn't feel
you wouldn't feel right, and it wouldn't, and you would think, oh, that doesn't look right for me.
Right. But there's other people who are naive to everything, naive to life, especially these young kids in college. It worries me all the time that they go out there and they think fun, and then they wake up somewhere strange because somebody slipped them something.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of bad people. And
my sister was in a bar with some friends and somebody slipped her a drink, and it was some other friends who saw it and got her home. But the person who slipped her the drink was a friend.
Yeah.
And she and it was quite eye-opening for her that, you know, the people you think you could hang with, and they could do you in, you know, just do you in. So that's, you know, that's a tough thing.
We
All
got
right,
it out.
I gotta go. That was my conversation. I'm gonna play us out with some Whitney Houston, because she's on my spirit, and it's gonna be a minute for me to shake this thing. So maybe seeing the documentary might give me some closure. I don't know. You've been listening to Love Babz Love Talk on 103.5 FM. Live streaming on NewHavenIndependent.org. Have a good weekend. I'll be back on Monday. Motown.